Also tracking a mayor's race in Sandy Springs. Here's the latest results we have here. And again, this is early vote totals. You see incumbent mayor there, Rusty Paul, out to an early lead, about 73% of the vote going to him at this early juncture, about 27% going to Dante Carter. In raw numbers, that's about 5,000 votes for Rusty Paul, about 1,900 for Dante Carter here. And again, though, it is early tonight. 11 Alive has reporters fanned out across the metro tracking all of the results, all of the election day information. Marissa Sarbach is in Sandy Springs right now. Marissa, what are you seeing?
Well, Zach, we're at the watch party right now for Mayor Rusty Paul, and people already are excited. So you can tell, I mean, just as soon as they're walking in the room here, one woman yelled, Mayor Paul, I think it's going to be a great night. You can see he's already just talking to some of his constituents and some of the voters that came out here earlier tonight. We're at a brunch restaurant right in the middle of Sandy Springs. Rusty Paul running on a platform focused on investing in public safety and green spaces, as well as being a champion for charter schools. He's been in office since 2013, 3 terms here. Now, his opponent, Dante Carter, his campaign focusing on diversity and inclusion, talking about building infrastructure to expand mass transit here in Sandy Springs, and also wanting accountability for women who have been victims of the crimes. Now, we know the runoff elections really don't typically draw the crowds that you're used to seeing on general election days. Of course, it is pretty busy here, but we did catch up with some voters at the polls earlier today who say they never miss an election day.
I was always voting. I became a citizen 20 years ago, and yeah, I've been always voting. We need to educate people, and I've been educating people of, you know, obviously having my citizenship and how important it is when you move to a country and you become part of that country. And so that is important to me. That's why I come and vote and share my experience with other people, and I'm very proud of that. And so I thank everybody and all the American people for welcoming me and, you know, giving me the opportunity to grow and have my own business.
Right now, live in Sandy Springs again at the watch party here tonight for Mayor Rusty Paul, one of the mayoral candidates here in Sandy Springs. Very energetic crowd out right now. And last check of those numbers, again, more than 5,000 votes for Rusty Paul and almost 2,000 for Dante Carter. Again, as you mentioned, Zach, these are just early voting numbers, but I can tell you the crowd here not really concerned about that. They expect this momentum to continue throughout the night.
So thank you very much. Let's bring our panel back in now because, guys, there's been, we should be clear, this is technically a nonpartisan race, this mayoral contest in Sandy Springs. But if you are an outside observer, you might be noticing some real partisan cross currents. We've seen Stacey Abrams endorse Dante Carter. She's, of course, the former 2-time Democratic gubernatorial nominee. Republican Governor Brian Kemp has endorsed Rusty Paul. How much does the nonpartisan label really mean in a race like this, Spiro?
I mean, I think at this point, when it comes down to the final 2, and you clearly have a Republican and a Democrat, you're going to see that happen. You're going to see the endorsements come out, and early indications are that Rusty Paul had a pretty good get out the vote effort. And what we were talking about earlier of educating people and letting them know that there is a runoff and making sure his people got to the polls.
And Val, I mean, is this something that strategists like yourself, is this a race that people are looking at? I mean, why would a Governor Brian Kemp and a Stacey Abrams even care about backing these 2 candidates?
Yeah, I mean, look, like what Spiro said, you have the 2 kind of going up against each other. They went through a whole field of, and Sandy Springs had a number of candidates in the main election. And so when you have these people, when it's down to 2 people, you want your team to win at the end of the day. So that's when your people come in and start weighing in and saying, hey, like, it's kind of a signal to folks to say, listen, you need to get out and vote. These are the people who may have supported me, who may like me. This is who I need you to go support.
And I think Sandy Springs is also interesting, too, because you have a diverse voting population there. It's a city of about 100,000 people. It's not, I mean, you could say it's purple, right? I mean, there's people who, it's not completely like a red stronghold or a blue stronghold. So could we say bellwether for North Georgia or North Atlanta? Or is it not necessarily? We're just going to see what happens, and it could be an indicator.
It could be like a factor in many factors. I mean, Sandy Springs was a pretty strong Republican stronghold for a while, before probably before when the first Trump presidency happened. And then after that, I think that's when you had the disaffected Republicans kind of start coming out to say, listen, I'm not down with what President Trump is doing. I'm going to vote for the Democrat. So I think that you still do have people that are, it is still pretty much a purple area.